Well, here's another track inspired by Danbury, Connecticut. So this one is a point-to-point race with 3 different sectors, pretty much like Mount Wario. So you start at like the southwestmost tip of what's the city limits. Then you take this turn right here where you would get off like the highway right here. And then this where like that Porsche dealer is. Of course, you can tell that Principal Lewis is going to be a CPU on the player's team in the story mode race here because of that. And then the Danbury Mall is right here. And it does a circle around. There's a glide ramp where you briefly go on top of it, but then you head back down, curve for these few roads. Then you head back onto the main road right here. And then Sector 1 ends when you hop into the highway. What's funny is that, although I didn't draw this until now, I actually devised this track well before Mario Kart World was revealed. And I pretty much basically made a transition area. We're just going to have like traffic and some boost pads, basically just like that. So I basically saw the future with it. Although a catch with this one is that depending on the CC, the vehicles driving are going to be a lot faster. They might even be faster than the carts themselves, meaning you have to carefully weave around. You don't just go totally straight right up to the main area, but instead you cut off here. Then you're briefly in really fast oncoming traffic. Then you have to get to this glide ramp and glide back onto the main road. And then you get off the highway, enter into Danbury's main street, and then it's now the main part of the town. And then the final section, you cut off over here just before the railroad crossing for what's the abandoned beacon line. And then you cut over here, and then off this glide ramp, you enter into the Danbury Railway Museum, and then you take this S shape through where all the preserved stuff is. And there's this second route where if you have like a golden mushroom or a star, you can cut through it and save time. Then you cut around the parking lot. Then you head into the downtown, and you head through the small park area. Then you just take a few more turns, and then back on the main street, you reach the finish line. This not to the scale thing I absolutely had to put here because technically the finish line should be right here because this last area should be able to be made into a free lap race, which might be an arcade mode only event. But because of the wrong proportions, the finish line ended up being over here. But just wanted to make that clear. So that's my second track to show off here, this being Danbury Dash.